Welcome to That's Based. Happy Saturday. I'm your host, as always, Caleb Salvatore, reporting from somewhere underground. We're laughing our way through the end of days. Brought to you by Outlaw Streamers and Live 365 on Chris Baker Radio. Remember, we do the show twice a week, Wednesday and Saturday. You can follow along, hit the like, subscribe, whatever it is. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, drop us a 5-star review, and most importantly, share it with your friends. Organic growth is the only real way this show grows. Stockholm Mia, the red face of white supremacy, is here with me as always. How's it going on this fine Saturday morning?
Good.
Fantastic. Well, we got a whole lot to talk to you about this week, but first off, we're going to kick off with a word from our sponsors over at Blood of Tyrants. Drink bloodoftyrants.com with the promo code BASE. They've got two types of wine, both red and white, along with the Liquid Freedom energy drink. Drink bloodoftyrants.com with the promo code BASE, B-A-S-E-D. You'll save 10% off your order at the checkout. They've also got, that you see right there, the Liquid Freedom energy drink, which is all the upside of coffee and well, not really coffee. All the upsides of the energy drinks you guys are out there poisoning yourselves with none of the downsides. There's 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 carbs, 0 fucks given. Now, I am not a doctor. I can't tell you definitively one way or the other, but monsters give me a heart palpitation when I drink them excessively. This stuff doesn't. So that's only my experience. I can't give you medical advice, but I can tell you to go to drinkbloodoftyrants.com and use the promo code BASE to save 10% off your order at the checkout. All right, we got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about this week. We're going to do a little Heartland Hot Take segment. We've got the No Kings rally. Well, we've got all the footage from the No Kings rally. The Amazon web server goes down. George Santos is free, along with a whole bunch of other scandals in Congress and with people who want to be in Congress. There's all kinds of stuff. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But before we do any of that, let's hop into the current state of the left.
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
All right, it's time for current state of the left, which means it's, of course, time to once again play everybody's favorite game. Which liberal most belongs in a mental institution? Now, the rules are simple. As we all know, all liberals belong in mental institutions, but the law of averages says, why do I always say the law of averages? The rule simply states that one must belong in it more than the other. So we've got 3 contestants, 3 totally nuts wackadoodles we're going to play for you guys today. And I want you to let us know in the comments on YouTube and Rumble or on the That's Based with Caleb Salvatore Facebook group and page that you should be following by now, which one most belongs in that mental institution. All right, let's go to our first contestant. This is a refugee from Gaza. As the left continues to take a dump on the great American tradition that is Halloween and spoil everybody's fun, a Gazan refugee decided to speak up about her sister's neighbor's Halloween display. Go ahead and check this out.
I just want to ask, is this okay? Is this like how holidays look like? This is like just across the street from my sister's. Like, is this fucking okay? What's the fun about it? Like, what is the fun about it? What is civilized about it? What is holiday about it? Fuck you all. Fuck you like white people. Fuck you like Westerners and West. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, fuck everyone.
Fuck everyone. What's civilized about it? Asks the refugee from Gaza, where they throw gays off roofs and stone women who learn how to read. What's civilized about a Halloween decoration? She asks. It's, look, you want to sit here and say, fuck the West? You could always just go back to where you came from. Nobody made you come here. I guess that's not entirely true, because your own people made you come here. So maybe you're a guest here. We took you in with open arms. Well, maybe not so open, but some folks had open arms. And we said, you can stay here because things are bad in your home country. And you decide to say, fuck the West. Bye-bye. They should find out who posted that video and send them right back to wherever the hell they came from. You don't get to be a guest here. Certainly not one who's seeking asylum from human rights violations in other countries and get to come out and say, fuck the West because of a Halloween decoration. Guys, I love this. Continue to shit on everything that the average person loves to do. Continue, leftists, please, for the love of God, continue to take dumps on people's small, harmless hobbies. Please, for the love of God, keep doing that. Watch how much further the culture shifts to the right. You think it's bad right now. Why don't you go after like smoking meat and watching documentaries on the History Channel? Because you're already going after holiday decoration. That'll be the trifecta for middle-aged men in the Midwest. If you go after the airplane documentaries on the History Channel and smoked meat, you're cooked. You might as well go after lawns too. I've seen them go after that as well. I've seen them talk about how there's this Facebook post that circulates every now and then about how horrible lawns are for the environment and what a display of how disgusting America is because there's people that don't have water and we just waste water on our lawns. Bia, do you know what I do every time I see that dumbass post about how horrible lawns are? I run our sprinklers another time. Every time you idiots share that post, I'm going to run my sprinklers one more time. It costs me like 39 cents on the utility bill to do it. I don't give a shit. You know how cheap water is here? I will just waste it because you pissed me off on Facebook. That's how little we care. Fuck you. Okay, yeah, fuck you. Go away if you don't like it. Do you imagine if I walked into your house and just started saying, fuck you, I hate this place, this is uncivilized? You would be like, what are you doing here? Leave. Get out of here. I mean, imagine like if your house burnt to the ground, because this person's a refugee, right? Imagine if your house burnt to the ground and you went and stayed with a relative who was nice enough to take you in, or a coworker or whatever. And the second you get there and you're just like, man, fuck you, dude. This place is a dump. You think this is okay to look, your house looks like this? That's the equivalent of what these people that are coming into this country and being totally ungrateful are doing. They're being welcomed here. They don't have to go through the immigration process. There's a refugee system set up so that they can seek asylum here from whatever the hell's going on in the shithole they came from. And they come here and they treat us like crap. And they're not grateful. And you don't even have to be grateful. Just don't actively hate us. How about that? And they don't even do that. Bye-bye. We tried to help you. Leave. Get out of here. Okay, let's go to the next one. These are the people that are teaching your kids, your second contestant, in which liberal most belongs in a mental institution.
Hello, my name is EJ. I teach elementary general music to students from kindergarten through 5th grade. And my students call me Maestro.
Maestro.
But here are all the things in the
Not
last week the
retard?
students have called me instead of Maestro.
Dumbass. Child
A
molester.
5th grader called me Maestro Baddie.
Oh.
There's various 5th grade girls who really love to hype me up, and it made me feel great. I said, I can be Maestro Baddie, absolutely. In a similar vein, but a little more uncomfortable, we have Pookie Maestro. So that was unique. Now, I'm non-binary, and like
I couldn't
Cher,
tell.
I just have one name, Maestro, as a teacher. But I do get called Miss Maestro and Mr. Maestro in the same vein. I don't love it, but I get that they're confused. We have a lot of English language learners at this school. I'm not going to be that mad.
And they see through it as bullshit.
Bro. Have been called bro multiple times. I do sometimes address children as bro, so I personally don't hate it. I regularly call my classes goobers. I'll say, hello, goobers. How are you doing, goobers? So I was called goober and goober maestro. Kindergartner, I don't think English is his first language, addressed me just as music. Nothing else. Saw me in the hallway, said, hey, music, and period. He got right to the point. And then the last one is 6'7" Maestro, to which I replied, if you call me 6'7" Maestro, I will take away 6-7 minutes of your recess time.
Oh yeah, because there's the 6'7". That's we were trying to figure out what that meant last night, and we finally cracked the code. It means nothing, by the way, the 6'7". So that is a kindergarten teacher. Kindergarten. Why do these freaks, look, I get the gender thing is basically your entire personality. Why does it also have to extend to your wardrobe? Why do you have to walk around like a rainbow-colored clown everywhere you go? Here's my thing. I know we've got all these laws that say you can't discriminate in employment against someone for their gender, for their race, for their religion, and I agree with most of those, right? I fully support discriminating against people that look like that from having jobs. I fully support if someone like that walks into your office for a job interview and is either dressed like a clown or is making these insane demands that you refer to them as, you know, they, them, or maestro or whatever. I 100% believe you as an employer should not only have the right, but in my opinion, the responsibility to stand up and go, get the fuck out of my office, you big freak. I'm not going to hire you because of the way you look, identify, speak, and act. Get the fuck out of here. I think that should be your right as an employer to do that. Absolutely, bar none. And they shouldn't be able to sue you. You should be able to sue them for wasting your time. That's if I could wave a magic wand and change the laws tomorrow in a world where I'm the benevolent dictator, that would be what we did day one. A freak like that walks in your office, say, or you can put a sign up, no freaks allowed. Freaks need not apply. And they'll know who we're talking about. They'll know, here's a good indicator of who we're talking about. If I just throw the word freak on the wall and say no freaks allowed and you're offended by that, you're a freak. That's how we can tell who the freaks are. Because I would see that and go, I'm not a freak, and I'd walk right past it. If you're offended by a sign that says no freaks allowed, you know who we're talking about, freak. Okay, we got one more here. I'm worked up. I'm drinking coffee. We got one more here. Our third and final contestant for which liberal most belongs in a mental institution. Because this is a game show. Go ahead.
Round them all up. Put them in a big room that kind of looks like it could be a gas chamber. Don't actually do anything to them. Like, they'll be fine. Don't gas chamber them, but just put them in a room and tell them that's what you're gonna fucking do to them. Watch them all cry like the little baby back bitches that they actually are on their insides and probably piss and shit their goddamn pants. Oh yeah? Is that funny?
Yeah, she knew I was laughing. How'd she know?
I had one of you as a little brother.
Uh-oh.
I know exactly how you got the way you are.
He sounds cool.
And it's because your daddy was exactly the same fucking way. You're not even your own fucking person. You're just a compilation of all the hatred that your father handed down to you, you dumb motherfucker.
So mad about? Who's she yelling at? I don't think she's yelling at the MAGAs in that video. I think there's some internal, like, deeply rooted familial issues going on there. And she's just using MAGA as a punching bag for it. She's so angry. She stopped talking about Trump and his supporters about 3 seconds into that video. That was all about daddy and little brother there. How much you want to bet she's the one who doesn't show up to Thanksgiving? Do you think she goes to Thanksgiving?
No.
Absolutely no chance. Like,
she goes to Christmas for the presents.
For the presents.
And leaves.
Yeah, and leaves. Yeah, she'll go to Christmas, walk around smelling like weed and just groan and maybe say hi to grandma, but she probably thinks grandma's a Nazi or something like that, so grandma doesn't get a hug. Yeah, she'll show up to Christmas and get the presents. But yeah, that's that family that like leaves the open seat on Thanksgiving out of the hopes she's gonna show up. And you know, the mom and dad are there, and the little brother's there with his wife and his kids, and he's got, you know, he's not rich, but he's like doing well. You know what I mean? Maybe he sells insurance, or he's a truck driver, construction management. He does well for himself. Bills are paid, that kind of situation. And he's got this beautiful wife, 2-3 kids, and everything's going well. And then you've got her, and she's single, and she lives in a 1-bedroom apartment with 4 cats, and the apartment doesn't know she has 3 of them because she can't afford the $25 a month pet fee for all 3 of them. And the place just reeks of urine. And she hides them in the walls like Anne Frank when maintenance comes in to change the air filters. And you know she's a pain to the apartment. You know she's calling them to like change the light bulbs and shit like that. And she's like 3 months behind on rent, but then she pays another month, and it kind of catches up. So they don't evict her. And she plays that game with the landlord until her lease expires, and then they just have to decide: is it worth it to try to sue this person that doesn't have any money, or do we just cut our losses? That's that's where she is, and she sits in that apartment by herself. And one day, not anytime soon, hopefully, but one day she's going to keel over. And it might be from the stress from yelling at MAGA. It might just be from old age. It might be from a lot of things, but she's going to keel over one day. And the police will find out because someone at the apartment complained about the smell, and they will have found that those cats have eaten about 1/3 of her body. Because I've told you guys on the show a number of times, if you die and nobody turns you in, your cats will eat you. They will eat you. Your dog won't. Your cats will. All right, Mia, so I got to ask the question, which liberal most belongs in a mental institution today? Get some tough ones.
I gotta go with the Halloween one, the Halloween decoration.
Really?
Yeah.
I was thinking she belongs in an ice van. I thought the gas chamber lady did.
Yeah.
Maybe they can help her figure out the daddy issues.
Yeah.
But you said the Halloween one. I said gas chamber. Drop a comment on YouTube, Rumble, or Facebook. Halloween, the kindergarten teacher, the Halloween, the freak, or the gas chamber. Which one do you think most belongs in a mental institution? That's been our intro segment. We'll be right back with Store Brand TMZ. All right, before we get into Store Brand TMZ, this week it is brought to you by Tactilian. Tactilian, TACTILIAN.com with the promo code BASE. You'll save 15% off your order at the checkout on gifts for the Patriot in your life. They've got decor for your home and office, decals for your vehicle, accessories for your dog, and clothing for you. Tactilian.com, TACTILIAN.com with the promo code BASE. You'll save 15% off your order at the checkout, and a portion of the proceeds are going to go to help build homes for wounded veterans. One more time, it's Tactilian, TACTILIAN.com with the promo code BASE. You'll save 15% off your order at the checkout. All right, now it's time to talk some celebrity news with Store Brand TMZ. Justin Bieber! First up, we got this is a friend of the show sent me this. This is AP News. Did you hear about this plane?
Mm-mm.
A plane returned to a Nebraska airport over fear someone was trying to break into the cockpit. Plane carrying passengers from Omaha to Los Angeles made an emergency landing minutes into the flight out of an abundance of caution after pilots mistakenly thought someone was trying to breach the cockpit. The SkyWest flight had just left Omaha's Epley Airfield around 7:45 p.m. Monday when the plane's pilots declared an emergency and headed back to the airport. A statement from SkyWest, a regional carrier operated by American Airlines, said the plane returned to Omaha out of an abundance of caution after experiencing communication issues with flight crew Mike. An American Airlines spokesperson said Monday night that the intercom pilots and flight attendants used to speak to each other had been left on by accident. The flight crew, unable to communicate with the pilots, banged on the cockpit door, the FAA said in a statement, and evidently the pilots thought that was somebody trying to break into the plane. Or into the cockpit. They thought they were going to have a little 9/11 right out of Omaha, Nebraska right there. That was, man. You know what? At least the doors are locked nowadays. You know, I mean, when 9/11, they just opened it right up. Who thought that was a good idea? Could you imagine Trump after a 9/11? Like, you know, Bush had that moment, you know, the whole world will hear us soon. What would Trump's speech be? That it's going to be the greatest counterattack you've ever seen. Okay, we got this next one here. This is the DoorDash girl. Oh my God, the DoorDash girl is all over the Tic Tac app. We got this video compilation of her, so I'll let her tell the story, and then we'll tell you what really happened here.
Hey guys, so DoorDash just deactivated me 2 days after I reported my sexual assault.
Oh, really?
Hey guys, I just lost my job, and they won't tell me why.
Really?
They're supposed to send an email immediately after deactivation providing you the reason why and a link to appeal, and they didn't.
I wonder
so
why.
I contacted support, and they made me sit on the phone with them for 50 minutes just to tell me that they can't tell me the reason why, and I have to just go ahead and appeal without knowing why.
My bank does that.
So my chances of getting my account back, they have my money in that account. I was working! I was literally working! And they deactivated me! This is related. They just punished me for posting about my sexual assault while door dashing. They just fired me. And the police are doing nothing. I lost my job. And that was my only way to make money to pay my bills. Me to email it to him, and he asked me if I want to press charges. Like, what do I want to come from this?
Wow. That's quite a lot going on there. There's no way, Mia, that she could be embellishing her story or anything, right?
No. Not at all.
She needs to embellish her eyebrows because they're like looks like someone drew them in with a mechanical pencil there. So here's what this woman claims. You know this better than I do. Go tell him what she said happened.
I mean, not really.
So she's a Door Dasher.
Yeah, she's a Door Dasher.
Which is a huge ripoff that you should never do unless you're drunk.
And I don't know why you would have that as your own, like your full-time job.
So some people do if they're like students or whatever. There's people that do.
Okay. But yeah, so she said that she was dropping off an order to this guy and the instruction said to leave at the door. So she went up to the door, left it there, and she said his door was open and she saw him laying on the couch, passed out with his pants down.
Mm-hmm.
But what actually happened is she like opened the door.
Yeah.
And saw him laying there with like passed out with his pants down.
So the guy was trying to rub one out, and it was obviously a boring one. He didn't finish it.
Yeah,
the porn got a little too slow for him. Too much build up there.
And yeah, she recorded it. She recorded herself like opening the door. Yeah. No, she posted it.
Oh, well, there goes that.
Yeah.
So she recorded a guy with in his own house after opening the door that was essentially nude because his genitals were exposed. That's all the law cares about.
Yeah, and she said it was sexual assault.
That she was she's the sexual assaulter.
Yeah.
If this is true. I mean, you what did she think was going to happen? I mean, of course, yeah, you open the guy's door without being invited in, recorded him sleeping naked, and shared it to the internet. That's like 5 crimes right there. I mean, it's stalking, it's breaking and entering, it's revenge porn, harassment. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff that we can go down the rabbit hole of.
I don't think she just like opened it herself. I think it was
cracked open.
Yeah.
But still, why would you open it?
Yeah, there's no reason to. Like, this guy was just
You're a Door Dasher.
there. Yeah, he wasn't expecting her
the
to
$34 Chipotle on the porch and walk the fuck away.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't expecting her to open the door all the way and do all that.
If he came to the door and answered it naked, that would be different. But wasn't she explicitly told to leave the food at the porch?
Yeah, just leave the food at the porch.
Okay, here's what happened. The guy put the order in. He knew he was going to have a little bit of time, and he decided, hey, you know what? What's better than a post-nut meal? And he was like, I'm going to bust one out real quick, wait for the DoorDasher to get here. You know, maybe the shit he was watching, maybe he got bored looking for the right porn video. We don't know, but he didn't deserve to be, lambasted all over the internet like a rapist. Okay, let's go to the next one. Did you ever watch the show Ghost Adventures?
Yes.
Have you heard about what's going on with this?
No.
Oh, so I'm about to break this news to you here. Yeah. So the show Ghost Adventures, this is Halloween, it's a little timely. The show Ghost Adventures is coming back, and Aaron Goodwin, who is one of the hunters, if you will, and they caught this on video, and they decided to evidently air it on the show. This very personal moment for Aaron Goodwin. I can't believe that this is going to be aired on national television. Check this out.
All right, I'm gonna try to take a picture fast. So what I'm doing right now is I'm laying UV lights, and then I take a long exposure Polaroid for like 30 seconds or to a minute, and just let it sit there with the lens open. Oh my God, dude, I feel like something's happening.
Suddenly, Aaron gets a notification on his phone, and we can sense something is wrong.
Dude.
That fresh procedure.
What's going? You all right? You okay? Bro, the police are in my house. What? All right, I'll go outside.
It's fine, but I'm not staying in here by myself.
police are at his house, and he said he had to go outside.
At this point, we will not be showing any further footage, but it is at this moment that Aaron receives a call from the police that his wife has been arrested and charged with conspiracy to commit murder by hiring a hitman to have Aaron killed.
So you did know about this?
Yeah, this is kind of old.
What? I just saw it on Twitter. Someone was acting like it was news. How old is it?
A couple months.
Oh.
They must. So, okay, it must just now be coming out because it was.
Yeah, it must have just aired then.
Yeah, it must have just aired. Because it came out a couple months ago.
I was so excited.
Yeah, no, the whole story broke a couple months ago. They must just now be airing it.
Why did she want to have him killed? I mean, this guy's a ghost. Of course he's going to come back and haunt you.
So I think she was having an affair.
Oh.
And money.
How much money is this guy bringing in as a ghost hunter?
This show's had a lot of seasons.
Who's the main guy on that show?
I thought it was
Oh, I thought it was Zach something.
I don't know.
Bagans? He's got the thing in Vegas.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. My cousin.
I'm
used to
assuming
watch it.
he's got to have money.
Yeah,
The show's been on forever. And ever
why
and
can't I
ever.
do that? I mean, I'll make millions of dollars to pretend I felt a cold rush with the night vision camera on. Hell yeah. Okay, we'll go to the next story here. So this is in a man from Ohio at the middle of a Wikipedia conference. A man from Ohio stormed the stage, allegedly, armed with a pistol, while carrying a sign that said, and I quote, non-offending pedophile, end quote, and threatened to kill himself. I have so many questions here. Number one, what goes on at a Wikipedia conference? That is my primary question. What goes on at a Wikipedia conference?
They just beg for money.
Yeah, that's all it is begging for money. I want to vandalize Wikipedia conference. I mean, all the people that have messed with it throughout the years. So obviously this guy was bored. He must have just left the No Kings protest and decided, I'm going to go let everyone know that I am a pedophile, but I haven't done it yet. What? Why is that like an attempt? Why are they attempting to make that a thing? Non-offending pedophile. Why do you think that's okay to make that a thing? Okay, you've outed yourself. Great. Now you go to the padded room. Imagine if someone was like, yeah, I think about killing people all the time, but I've never done it. I'm a non-offending serial killer. I'm a non-offending school shooter. Why do they think non-offending pedophile? No, dude. Okay, great. You haven't committed one of the most atrocious crimes known to man. I mean, what do you want? You want a trophy for it? What are we supposed to do? The guy threatened to kill himself, but then I would have been like, do it, pussy. You won't do it. You don't have the balls. Here's the thing. If he would have rushed the stage with a sign that said something like that at a Roblox concert, they probably would have given him a job. Like, hey, do you want to be our content moderator? You can ensure that the site is a safe space for children, okay? Next up, Kanye West and Kim Kardashian's daughter, Northwest, has unveiled her new look at 12 years old. Take a look. I see this, and I can't help but feel like Kanye's meltdown was justified. I mean, because the kid's in Kim's possession right now, in her custody. So I see this shit, and I'm like, what does it mean if Kanye West is the more sane of the two parents? What were you going to say?
So I saw this. I saw that picture.
The tattoos are fake.
Yes, I saw that picture.
But still.
And I do agree. It does look bad. But then I saw a picture. It was her and her friends. They were all dressed like that. And her friends had different colors in their hair. And it was like a Halloween costume.
See, you're spoiling all of my stories today. You're ruining. First you tell us the ghost thing was like months old. Then you tell me that this Northwest thing is a Halloween costume. Now I sound like the liberals that are angry about Halloween.
No, because when I saw it, I got mad. I was like, this is like she looks so stupid. Because there was a picture like a couple weeks ago of her like in a corset with like boots and stuff, like looking like she's 20 years old. But no, I think this is just like a kid.
Oh, okay.
Like dressing up.
Even then, I mean, even if the tats were real, it's still not the worst. It's not as bad as like what Megan Fox is doing. I would 100% objectively, 8 days of the week, 25 hours a day, rather my 12-year-old get a face tattoo than change genders. Absolutely no doubt in my mind. We can laser the face tattoo off. Whatever. I don't care. That's not going to fuck you up like mentally and hormonally for the next rest of your life, I guess. Yes, I would rather my kid get a face tattoo than change genders. And they're going to cry, oh, you're transphobic. Okay, sure. If that's what you want to say, go ahead.
That's what I'm here for, is to
spoil my story.
Spoil all your stories. No, I think it looks stupid, but I think it's just a kid being a kid.
I went as Kevin Gates for Halloween one year. I drew the like face tattoos on and stuff, but I was like 20, so that was, a little bit different. Okay, last one here. Leah Thomas. What?
Should I spoil this one too?
Do you even know what I'm going to say?
No, I don't even know who Leah Thomas is.
Leah Thomas is the transgender Stanford swimmer that dominated all the women in the NCAA races, is very upset, saying that the ban on transgender, quote-unquote, women participating in women's sports is a real punch in the gut. I would have preferred he go with, a kick in the nuts. But, what am I going to say? Anyway, that's been Sorbra TMZ. We'll be right back. We got a bunch of stuff to get into for trending this week. All right, and trending this week is brought to you by Hot Salt. If you go to firecracker.farm, not .com, .org, or .net, firecracker.farm, and use the promo code BASE, you'll save 10% off your order at the checkout on Hot Salt. Hot Salt's a combination of Mediterranean sea salt, scorpion pepper, and Carolina Reaper. You go to firecracker.farm and you use the promo code BASE, you'll save 10% off your order at the checkout. One more time, it's firecracker.farm. With the promo code BASE, you will save 10% off your order at the checkout. All right, we got a whole bunch of stuff to get into for trending this week. Let's start them off with a government shutdown update. The government is still shut down, and that has been your government shutdown update. We will go on to the next segment now. Perfect. On to Heartland Hot Takes. We're going to talk some local news today. We got a little bit of local stuff, and then for those of you that aren't here, I'll get into the No Kings and all the other crap, but I wanted to touch on this first. So we all know there was the police officer that got shot. Thank God he's alive in Omaha a couple weeks ago. Yeah, and right before that, you had the Terrence Crawford incident with the handgun. You guys can go Google that if you don't know what I'm talking about. But the mayor, John Ewing, who will evidently do anything but construction. He has never, that guy's wife must be the most, or that guy must be the most pent up man on the planet, because he's never finished anything in his life. The guy's, I'm assuming that extends to his sex life. We see all these construction projects torn up all over the city, and they just leave them. They're like, all right, great. We've torn it up. On to the next. And they just move on to it. But John Ewing, who is, by the way, being sued for blocking someone on Facebook, I'm one of the people he blocked. I'm going to wait and see if this lawsuit goes class action, and I will throw my name onto it. Because I tagged him in a post that was complaining about how the streetcar route is destroying local businesses. And, it's taking longer than they told everyone. It's costing more than they told everyone. And these businesses can just barely hang on. And I simply commented on it, tagged him, and said, do your damn job. And I was blocked within 5 minutes. So that's your mayor. The biggest, most soft-skinned little bitch on the planet, Mayor John Ewing Jr. We thought Stothert was bad. At least Stothert would sit there and stare at me with her laser beam eyes, thinking about how she wanted to rip my heart out. Stothert had the guts to fucking speak to me. This pussy blocked me. Stothert never blocked me. I got blocked from no, I did get blocked toward the end. That's right. But Stothert took the abuse for a long time. Okay? This pussy, the first time he's had his comments off since he took office, which is illegal in its own right. The coward won't even let me go on and cyberbully my elected officials. My First Amendment right to cyberbully my elected officials, and I can't do it. But so you got the streetcar, and now they're floating the idea that we're going to take money out of the city's bank account, or we're going to take city funds and pay these businesses to make up for some of the profits they've lost. So you and I, not only do we get to pay for the overinflated streetcar, now they want us to pay for the damages, the economic damages that the overinflated streetcars cost. So that's another hidden price tag that's not going to be added onto that initial $500 million, which, by the way, is up to $700 million now, that they told us about when they started building this thing. Just lie after lie after lie after lie after lie. That's all they've done about this. That won't go toward the streetcar. That's not going to be added onto the final price tag, and I don't think it should. I don't think we should be paying for that. We didn't create this problem. We told you over and over and over again, we don't want this thing, and you guys did it anyway. And now that it's doing exactly what we told you was going to happen, you're like, well, we think you guys should also pay for the damages that you told us were going to come that we've caused. Absolutely not. And where does this stop? Because when you open this Pandora's box up for the government bailing out businesses that are negatively affected by a construction project, when's it going to stop? Because now when you tear up a stretch of road by McDonald's and one of their two entrances is blocked off by construction, they're going to start hitting the city up and going, well, look what you did for the streetcar route. Why can't we get a little bit of this money here? And then it's never going to end. And you're constantly going to spend time getting sued. By the way, John Ewing and the mayor's office are getting sued, like I said, for blocking Facebook comments. So you get to pay for that as well now, too. You get to pay. Think about that. You get to pay for your mayor's quote-unquote right to block you on Facebook. Your mayor is being sued because he doesn't want to hear negative comments from his constituents on social media because he's worried about how it's going to paint him publicly with his image. He got sued for it because it's against the law, because it's been decided in the Supreme Court that it's against the law. And now you, the taxpayers, and me in Omaha, we get to pay for his legal defense to censor his constituents. How fucking retarded is that? Oh, John, you've made a mighty enemy in me. I was willing to let it play out. I didn't think you were going to be as bad as a lot of people thought you were. I was wrong, sweetheart. You were all that in a bag of chips. Everything they warned us about, you've confirmed all of those fears in less than 5 months. John, we've got a problem. But so ever since all this happened, you've got LB 77 is now being talked about. LB 77 was the bill that was passed in 2023 that granted permitless carry in Nebraska. Now, one of the laws in Nebraska, and they teach you this when you get your concealed carry permit, is if you get pulled over by a police officer, you are required to tell him that you're carrying a firearm. So John Ewing Jr. and Todd Schmaderer, who's a Republican, he's the chief of police, he was under Stother, have gone on the press tour crying about how difficult LB 77 has made things for police officers in Omaha. You know, it's weird. You don't hear any other city's police chiefs crying about this or mayors. It's just here in Omaha where they happen to be a little bit more liberal. Here's the thing, guys. LB 77 is law. It's not going anywhere. So you guys, as the mayor and chief of police, I guess I don't have the job description in front of me, but I think public safety is one of the primary responsibilities of the mayor and chief of police. I'll have to have our fact checkers fact check me on that one, but I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. How about, novel concept here, instead of going on the media, on the press tour crying about this law, how about you guys go out and you do like a PSA? How about, how about you get a mailer and you send it to everybody in town, or you put up a billboard or whatever that just says, if you're pulled over by law enforcement and you're carrying a firearm, you must tell the police officer that you're carrying that firearm. I think that you can cry about the law all you want. I think that would be a much more productive use of your time and a much better way to tackle this issue than crying about it to the media, than scheduling a press conference to cry about it to the media, where you both sit there and whine like little bitches. That was the most pathetic thing I've ever seen in my life, and that's saying something. That was an embarrassment, is what that was. You two grown men chose to sit up there and cry about a law they know is completely out of their control. There's nothing you can do at the city level. You can live with it. By the way, LB 77, the bill, I was told by everybody that when that bill got passed, the streets in Omaha were just going to be running red with blood because anyone could carry a firearm. Because we all know the only thing that was keeping criminals from going out and shooting either innocent people or other criminals was the fact that they didn't have the proper permitting to do it, right? So common sense wasn't going to dictate it. But Omaha actually recorded its lowest homicide rate in 35 years in 2024, which was the year after that law was passed. It also saw sexual assault see a nearly 30% decline. Why? I don't know. Maybe because some guy that wants to go put his hands on a woman as she's walking to her car doesn't know if she's packing heat. That might have something to do with it. What do I know, though? But yeah, so you guys can sit here and cry about it all you want. The numbers aren't on your side, and there's nothing you can do about it. Why don't you go be productive? I just gave you a perfectly good idea. My rate is $500 an hour. Tell me where to send the bill. All right. Let's go to the next one. I just wanted to rant about that for a minute there. John Ewing, you pissed me off. I'm not laying off. You're the new Stothard. I'm going to cyberbully you, one way or the other. I'll just email these clips to him. Should we do that? I'll clip this video and here's what I'll do. I'll clip that video and I'll post it to YouTube or Twitter or whatever, and or Facebook, and you guys can all download it, and I want you to email it to the mayor. Email it. Just clip the part where I call him a pussy little bitch and send that to him. Just so he knows he does not have this ain't Toy Story. You don't got a friend in me, John. Okay. Well, last Saturday was the No Kings rally, and as expected, everyone came out and acted totally normal, and nobody caused any scenes. There were no threats or crazy signs. I'm kidding, of course. We got a local one from our friends at Nebraskans Against Government Overreach over at NAGO. They said this is Saunders County, Nebraska. Those were their 4 protesters. Pictures you can smell. How many cats between the 4 of them? Mia, how many do you think?
20.
Childless cat ladies against fascism. That's the one the cats are going to eat someday. That's and then there's the gingerbread man suit from Shrek. Peace and love. Peace and love. I love how these people claim to be about peace and love. They would shoot you in the back of the head in a heartbeat. The only reason that liberals don't rise up and kill us, well, I guess there's technically 2. There's 2 reasons that liberals don't rise up and kill all conservatives. Number 1, because they're physically weak and they're a bunch of fucking pussies. Number 2, because they'd go to jail. Those are the only 2 things keeping these people from killing you, is that they physically can't and that they would go to prison even if they physically could. That's it. Those are the only 2 things. They have no value for you, but they claim to be about peace and love. All right, we got a whole bunch of pictures and stuff to show. In LA, Pedro Pascal even made an appearance. Do you know what the great part about that picture is? Obviously, these rallies are working, because that's the only time I've ever seen a picture of this guy where he wasn't groping some random woman. I guess we can't see his other arm, so maybe he still is. Well, we got all kinds of signs as well. We can go ahead and take a look at these signs. That's a good one. There's a MAGA hat and a guillotine, and then there's another one that says "Wanted better snipers." Isn't that nice? Just keep bringing them. Yeah, we'll just keep going. Rapid fire here. Charlie Kirk had it coming. Changed my mind. Politicians don't die like they used to. Make assassinations great again. Oh my God. I wish he hadn't turned his head. Then there's a guillotine that says "Feed me." Then you've got a guy who is allegedly shift manager at Pizza Hut that's dressed up as a dead Charlie Kirk. I mean, these people know no lows. Remember when Michelle Obama was saying, when they go high, we go low? Where did that go? Or they go low, we go high? Where did that go? Here's we need to use our Second Amendment to remove the fascist in the White House. That's a threat. That's a threat. If you voted for Trump, kill yourself, it says. That's a threat. What's that next one? Oh, no, go back up. That guy needs to go to prison. That's federal prison right there. That's as loud and clear as it can be. You can take that down. Like if I told my neighbor I'm going to use the Second Amendment to remove you, that would be a terrorist threat. Hey, Caleb just threatened to kill me. There's no way around that. Now we got some videos here. But here's the thing with these signs. Let's play the videos in a second. They knew that their lunatic fringe is a liability when it comes to public optics, right? They knew that. And they told these people, hey, please be peaceful. The organizers of these events did. They said, please be peaceful. Don't show up with signs threatening to kill people. It's a really bad optic for us. It makes us look bad. It makes it hard to win, some of these down ballot elections when we get associated with lunatics like this. Please do not put anything. And they still couldn't resist themselves. I mean, the problem here with the Democrats, and I said this after the last No Kings rally when we were there. Matt from Right Here turned and looked and told me this. He said they've lost control of their crazies because both parties have crazies, but the Republicans keep them in the basement where they should be. They're the bastard kid that's got some developmental disability that you don't want your family and friends to know you had, so you lock them in the basement. That's the Harry Potter under the stairs kid, are the Republican extremists. But the Democrats have, now that kid with the deformed head, their kid with the deformed head, has crawled out of the basement, and he's out mowing the lawn. He's going to work. He's the head of the household at this point. He's the one filing the taxes. The deformed, retarded kid has hijacked the household for the Democrat Party. That's what's happened here. I mean, that's their problem, is their lunatic fringe is no longer the fringe. This is the base. This is 30 to 40% of the party is insane and violent. I mean, they should. I can only imagine there has got to be some folks like the James Carvilles of the world, the more reasonable Democrats, right? They do somewhat still exist. That maybe in public they supported this, but I've got to imagine these guys are sitting there in private thinking to themselves, this is a terrible idea. This is a terrible idea. We cannot control our own people. We have no leash on the crazies. They're going to go out and they're going to make us all look like lunatics. They have to be thinking that. These people aren't stupid. Even like the Newsoms and stuff like that. They have to be real. They have to realize, if they're not going to admit it publicly, because we know they'll never break from the marching orders, but they have to sit there and think to themselves, man, this is bad. This is not going to work. The only people this is rallying to our side are the people that were already going to vote for us. Anyone who's just driving by, going out to eat on a Saturday afternoon when these protests are going on, that sees a guy with a sign that says, if you voted for Trump, kill yourself, that's not going to win those people over. And like I said, the first one they did wasn't the intention to. Their intention was not to win these people over. Now we're getting closer to the midterms, and kind of the battle over the whole Trump presidency is beginning to really kick off. You're not trying to rally your troops now, you guys. You need to start winning people in the middle, and this crap's just going to keep alienating them. So we got these videos. The boomers showed out in full force. Check out what the boomers did here. It just dance, yeah. What the hell? Does that generation just have no redeeming qualities? What the hell did I just watch? Look, Andrew Cuomo did not put enough COVID patients in nursing homes. Can I go that far? What on earth did I just watch? Keep in mind, this is the same generation that, like, Charles Manson formed a serial killer cult around. There's a reason all that weird shit used to happen back then. because these people have fried their brains with drugs and they just don't. They're so susceptible to mass media. I mean, that's what it is that was the first generation that was exposed to mass media to the extent they were, or to a large extent. That was the first generation that could sit there and get their news on the television. And it wasn't just something they listened to in the background, or like on the radio. That was like, that's what it is they were the first generation. They were really the guinea pigs for how do we manipulate an entire group of people to feel one way or the other. And man, did they bite hook, line, and sinker. That's what you're watching. You're watching the final stages of that experiment. And I think Gen Z is kind of starting to buck that trend, but I fear we're going to be looking at videos of millennials 30 years from now thinking the same thing, if we still have a country 30 years from now. This next guy here, this guy's really rational. I think this guy's a good spokesman for him. Maybe they can make him like the chairman of the DNC. Go ahead and play this video here.
But if we had a king, we wouldn't be able to have the protest.
No, we would. We would.
What does your sign say?
We have the right to protest. And Trump would say no, by the way. Trump would say no.
If Trump would say no, we wouldn't be having a protest.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Well, we have a protest.
You're talking about ICE going over and throwing people away?
You know, this guy's on Reddit.
We do have our right to protest. I don't believe Trump is stopping your right to protest because we're having this today.
He's trying to. Are you seeing what sort of stuff he's saying?
He's not here stopping it.
Are you kidding me? Trump would
Where
have
is
to be
he?
in 101. Trump would have to be in over 1,000 locations to stop these protests. These are happening all over the country today. It doesn't matter. Of course he's not here to stop it. You really think that the New York City police would allow him to go over and send troops to stop this protest? This is entirely legal.
But if we had a king, we wouldn't be able to have the protest.
No, we would. We would. We would. The worst dictatorships in the world have protests. You don't understand that. Do you really think that a dictator, a king, is all powerful? No, they're weak. They are weak. They make a country weak. Every time that a king... You realize what happened? The most recent dictators?
Yeah,
They died. They died in World War II, and their countries were taken over. They were weak.
That's irrational. You can always see it in the eyes. The eyes are always a dead giveaway. I'm not going to address the dribble that came out of his mouth because it's just purely insane. Man, Shaggy from Scooby-Doo has fallen on tough times, hasn't he? That's... we got this next one. So this is in Lincoln, Nebraska. This isn't a video. This is just a story. At the Lincoln No Kings protest. So evidently, you've got, allegedly, a group of young boys, like 12 to 14, were walking around just checking out what's going on at the protest. They were talking to a woman, if you hear the way their parents described it, rather politely. And a 22-year-old woman who was attending the protest noticed them talking to this other woman. And she felt that they were harassing her and being aggressive. So she did what the rational thing is to do when you see a group of preteen boys, which is grab a taser and start shocking it in the air, waving it around, screaming at them. And she was arrested for threatening or menacing. I don't even know. I just thought that was a little fun tidbit there. The crazies are all over, ladies and gentlemen. They will tase you for it. Here's another one. This is a kid at one of the rallies, and they've got a nice little effigy of Donald Trump set up. And look what they have their kids doing here.
What the hell?
There you go. Stab the Trump pinata. That's, oh my God. You know why they have a mask on that kid? Because if a school counselor recognized that they'd be in jail for child abuse. Because that's exactly what that is. Listen, man, how old do you think that kid was? I can never tell.
Probably like 10, 11.
Is there a 10-year-old kid on the planet who feels that strongly either way about a politician from either side unless someone's pushed him there? What do you think?
No.
Not a chance.
They don't care.
No, the parents drove him to that. The parents pushed him to that. That is a sick person that's raising that kid, and that kid should be taken from those parents. 100%, I stand by it. Okay, next one here. This is the people, we're back to the people that are educating your kids. This is a teacher in Chicago go ahead and see what she had to do when she saw someone driving by recording the protest. This is how she chose to act.
Hey! You ever heard of Ozempic, you fat ass?
That was her making a gunshot motion at her neck to mimic Charlie Kirk. Now, she is a public school teacher at a grade school in Chicago, and people found that out pretty quickly. They reported it, and here is the Chicago grade school's response to it. They said, safety continues to be our top priority, which is why I'm writing to follow up on a situation regarding social media posts that included potentially threatening language to a staff member. Not the threatening language by the staff member, to a staff member. Chicago PD is continuing to investigate the situation and will continue providing school with extra support during arrival and dismissal until that investigation is complete. I know that this has been an unsettling day for many in our school community, but I want to assure everyone our learning is continuing to move forward. For all students, our school day was uneventful. We look forward to welcoming all of our children back to class as normal tomorrow. I apologize to anyone who had trouble getting through to our main office by phone today. Many calls were coming in from beyond our school community, but we hope that these will subside soon. In addition, our school's website and X account remain paused for now due to the use of inappropriate language by individuals not connected to the school. There will be these will be restored as soon as we feel that it is in the best interest of our school community. So no mention of the teacher. They're not firing her. They're not firing her for that. That's a person who celebrates the death of another and arguably threatens violence against others, that is in a room with your children for 7 hours a day, unsupervised by anybody other than other children, that they're not going to fire. I bet they give her a raise. I mean, they're digging their heels in. This behavior, they're making it clear, this behavior is now rewarded. This is what we expect of you. You're going to go out and you're going to be a good little brown shirt, and you're going to cause chaos and make death threats and act unhinged, and we'll take care of you until you're no longer convenient to them. Then they won't. That's what you got to realize. Look at this next, what's the next one we got here? Yeah, pull this next nuts up.
You got me tongue twisted, dude.
Doesn't know what fetishes are?
Yeah. Hey, Tommy!
Bullshit.
You guys are sexual fucking deviants. You're Christian? Who would Jesus knock the fuck out? You fake Christian bitch. You fake Christian bitch. You fake Christian bitch. Who would Jesus
Jesus said obey the laws of the
land.
land. You illegals are not obeying the laws of the land.
Hey, Tommy! Would Jesus set
What's up with the midget?
I'm a little and I'm proud. You can see too.
Stop lying. Benjamin, put your pinky back in your mouth.
This is peak mental illness. Peak mental illness right now.
All right, that's
great.
You guys. Oh boy, those are the people. Remember when Tim Walz tried to start that meme that JD Vance was weird? Those were the people that were online behind anonymous accounts calling you weird. The people that were protesting in their fetish gear. Those were the people calling you weird. Just so we're all on the same page. What's this next one? Let's play the next one for us here. Oh yeah. This is we'll only play a couple seconds of this one. This is another elderly woman that was asked about Charlie Kirk.
Recently, with Charlie Kirk being assassinated,
Kirk is a piece of garbage. Of course we were mean. I am so tired of people saying, oh, but, it's a terrible thing. No, Hitler is dead. I'm glad Hitler's dead.
Something that I've heard in interviewing Republicans is that they're...
Oh, boy! Hitler's dead. I'm glad Hitler's dead. Oh, my goodness. What did I tell you? The elderly are broken. Not all of them, but a good percentage of them broken in this country. Just gone. I don't even know what to say. Genuinely don't know what to say about that woman. I mean, she's what, maybe 5'2"? Is anyone worried that's the thing, though? It's like, how seriously do you take it? Because they all say this crazy unhinged shit, and I think that they should be subject to the same law I would be if I said crazy unhinged shit and threatened to kill people. But at the same time, that woman's not going to show up to my door and kill me. That's not going to happen. This is the one, you got to realize, this is the one time that 3/4 of these people leave their basement when they go to these protests. They don't do anything else. Maybe they've got a job. Maybe. And they're not refusing to leave the basement because they're worried about COVID or anything like that. They just don't leave the basement because nobody invites them to anything. They have nowhere to be. It's simply that simple. Simply that simple. I like that. That's the sad part about this. Is these are people that are looking for some type of purpose, and they found it in the most purposeless thing imaginable, which is a protest. Never gets anything done. We got a couple more here. Well, this was taken a video that was taken at a park. Go ahead.
You don't deserve to be here. You do not deserve to be here, bro. You're white men. Do you know? You're white men talking about women's issues. Why does our skin color matter? Your skin color allows you certain things that it does not allow me. You're not gonna invalidate me as a black man. I'm not. I am literally emasculated every fucking day. Do not invalidate me, bro. Stop.
Do not invalidate.
You cannot come to a. You cannot come to a park like this. It's for
You're
misfits.
invalidating me by saying that.
Oh, so you're the victim, right? So
you're
the victim?
kicking me out of the park.
Yeah,
yes.
You don't deserve to be here. You do not deserve to be here, bro. You do not deserve to be here with these opinions. Sir. No, you see how they talk to me first? You see how they talk to me first? You're yelling.
If you wasn't yelling and you was talking normal and calm, they wouldn't come at you first. They would come and say, what's the problem?
He said, your skin color allows you things that I'm not allowed to do in America. You know what? You ask a guy a follow-up question like that, and you can't when they're screaming at in your face at a park like that. But you ask the guy a simple follow-up. What am I allowed as a white man that you're not? Like, definitive, objective things. Don't say, the right to feel safe, dealing with... No. What am I allowed to have in this country that you're not? There's no answer. That's what I always love when people talk about white privilege. White privilege. So you all know my wife is Native American, right? When we bought our house, we used a special type of loan that's available to tribal members. And you get a certain discount on some things, and it saves you a little bit of money. Do you know why we used the tribal loan? Because there wasn't a straight white guy loan. That's all. That's it. If anything, I have less privilege as a straight white man because there are no laws that are in place to make sure that I'm given X amount of opportunities or Y amount of discounts on things. Like, that's it. All of the objective advantages in this country, things that can be proven with numbers and data, skew against heterosexual white males. And that's not me on here crying. That's just me stating objective facts. You cannot deny that. If you deny that, you're lying. Or you're stupid. One of the two. He said he's been emasculated every day. I think that might be a personal problem. If you're being emasculated daily, I don't think that's Whitey's fault. You know what that's not the fault of the white honky cracker devils. You know what I mean? Like,
my favorite part of that was at the end when the black guy was
telling him to calm down.
Yeah.
The other black guy's like, dude, no, like they wouldn't be talking to you if you weren't screaming like a lunatic over here. He's being emasculated. I think that well, you know, not something I would admit, but I guess, man. We got another one here. This is a staff member at a college in Chicago talking about what we need to do to ICE agents.
We gotta grab a gun. We gotta turn around the guns on this fascist system. These ICE agents gotta get shot and wiped out. The state machinery, that's a full display right there, has to get wiped out.
Why is it every time we see someone preaching violence at one of these protests, we find out they're a teacher? They do something in education. Listen, I've been saying this for years, and I think I'm being vindicated more and more daily. Teachers are overpaid. I think we need to lower their salaries by about 20 to 30% across the board. Cut teacher. Can we print those coffee mugs? Lower teachers' salaries? No? I'm a big proponent of it. It's just across the board, 20% cut for all teachers in the country. Public school teachers. I don't know about private. We don't have a say in that. They're overpaid. Why should I pay someone who wants me to die? Why should my tax dollars go to that? Let's just cut all their salaries, drive the bad ones out, and then we can figure we could start over. We'll pick up the pieces. Okay, obviously, I'm being a little facetious there. Well, this didn't go without response from Donald Trump. Trump issued a response to this. Go ahead and see what he had to say here. Oh, no, sorry. 2 minutes.
Can you say that?
What's your response to the protests over the weekend, the No Kings protests?
I think it's a joke. I looked at the people. They're not representative of this country. And I looked at all the brand new signs paid for, I guess it was paid for by Soros and other radical left lunatics. It looks like it was. We're checking it out. The demonstrations were very small, very ineffective, and the people were whacked out. When you look at those people, those are not representative of the people of our country.
Mr. President, besides San Francisco...
By the way, I'm not a king. I'm not a king. I work my ass off to make our country great. That's all it is. I'm not a king at all.
So that's a pretty, nuanced response from Trump, right, Mia? That's not bad. Well, then he posted this video made on the new AI video making app, Sora, to his Twitter, where he was, we'll say, confronting left-wing activist Harry Sisson and the No Kings protesters. You can't hear him, but in the background is the theme song to Top Gun. That's right. That is the president flying in a plane with a crown on his head, dumping poop on the No Kings protester. We don't deserve him. That prompted Harry Sisson to tweet this out shortly after it. Can a reporter please ask Trump why he posted an AI video of himself dropping poop on me from a fighter jet? That would be great. Thanks. It's just a giant... whoever the intern was that made that needs a raise. It's just a giant troll job at this point. So we've got the funding here. Go ahead and pull up. This is where the money came from. These organizations, and I'm not going to go down the whole list, but these organizations that put these No Kings protests on, they want you to think that it's this giant, grassroots effort, and everyone just came together because they hate Trump so much. Well, that's not really the case. The organizations that put this on have received over $72 million from George Soros. $72 million. They've received $51 million from the Ford Foundation, over $16 million from Warren Buffett. You've got $79 million, nearly $80 million from Arabella, and the list goes on and on. They've got from some of the richest left-wing donors in the country nearly $300 million in donations over the last year from these people. I mean, this is what you're looking at here. This is not grassroots. You can take that down. This is not organic. This is none of that. This is a group, or this is a protest that, just like Kamala Harris's campaign, is astroturfed. They want you to think it's bigger than it actually is. They pay for all of the advertisements, all of the signs. I'm not saying they're paying people to show up, although they probably are in some cases. But they're the ones that organize this. This is not a bunch of people that got together and went, man, we sure do hate Trump. This was funded. And although I believe it's a miscalculation, I think their goal is to continue to rile up the lunatic fringe. They want to use them similar to the way they used Antifa back in 2020 during the BLM riots, which is as brown shirts. If you don't know what brown shirts were the thugs that went around in Nazi Germany and roughed people up and caused all types of chaos. You saw it with what's it called? In Mao's Cultural Revolution, you saw it with his youth organizations. They did kind of similar things back then. It all lines back to one thing. They want to cause as much chaos as they can to destabilize the government. They want to destabilize the country so that they can swoop in, burn it to the ground, and rule over the ashes. That's what it really boils down to. Now, they anticipated 7 million participants across the country and got 650,000, which is a disaster. That's bad. That's like if a company was like, we're going to make 7 million this quarter and brought in 650,000, they would be doing layoffs. That's how bad that is, to put it into perspective. But I think at the end of the day, I mean, you look at, like, remember the 86-47? Like, we see all these threatening signs and everything. We're 86-47, and people were like, oh, no, that's out of context. It's not a threat. There's no denying what you're seeing on these signs. These people are nuts, and it's far more widespread than it was on the last ones. You don't have to look too hard because this is after the Kirk assassination. You don't have to look too hard during these protests to go out and find the crazy people that are making death threats, that are just outright with it. They're not using coded language anymore. They're just saying they want you dead. But I think at the end of the day, with everything going on, with the government shutdown, with, like the tariffs and all the drama with Venezuela, I don't think Trump and the Republicans could have asked for a much better marketing ploy than these protests. Okay, let's go to the next one here. We have got an AWS. So the Amazon servers went out, and it took like a third of the internet off. I couldn't get on to check my bank account balance. Everything was just shut down. And did you have any problems with it, with the internet? Oh, you were sleeping. That's right, because you weren't feeling good that day. That's right. So everything just went down. And so, you had banks couldn't transfer money. Gamers lost their streaks. You couldn't get into your Peloton class. Signal went down, which I think could potentially lead to some issues down the line. Now that people realize, hey, we can wipe a server out and just take Signal out, and these people can't communicate with one another. We know the Biden administration and their DOJ were not big fans of the Signal app, but everything went down. And here's the thing. This is Washington Post. The one that stuck out the most to me. Smart beds flipped out during the outage. So, yes, I didn't even know this was a thing. And then when I found out it was a thing, I'm like, of course it is. Why wasn't it a thing? Everything is smart nowadays. And so people have smart bed. Do you know what does a smart bed do?
I have no idea.
Is it like you can program it from your phone? I thought they had, what's the sleep numbers or whatever, does like the same thing. Well, because everything's got to be smart. Well, the smart beds, because this happened at like 3 or 4 a.m., and this people's smart beds started freaking out, making all kinds of noise and moving around and stuff like that, and it woke them up, and they couldn't figure out how to turn it off. Do you know who didn't have that problem? Me, because I don't have the Terminator for a bed. I just have this thing called a bed. I put sheets on it, got a couple pillows and a blanket, I lay on it, and I go to sleep some nights. That's it. I don't wake up, or I don't have to get into my... How attached... Like, you see these movies, like iRobot, and was the Bruce Willis Surrogates and stuff like that, about people, like, merging with machines, and you realize they're not talking about you're actually going to become a machine. You're just symbolically merging with machines. You're just basically essentially becoming one, because you can't go to sleep without involving some type of smart technology with it. I think what we should learn from this AWS outage is how dependent we all are on the internet for everything, and how dangerous of a game we are playing with it without even realizing it. Now, look, I'd be lying if I was telling you I didn't have some of the smart shit. I've got a smartphone. We've got the Ring doorbell camera. What other smart shit do we have? I mean, we got like an Apple TV, but I mean, that's all fine and dandy. I think when you start integrating your home to become a full-blown smart home is when you start playing with fire. When you want to have your whole house regulated, the temperature of it regulated through a smart home device, when your refrigerator and your microwave and your oven are smart devices, your bed, I think that's when you start running into problems. Because as we've seen under the Biden administration, the government has had no problem colluding with big tech to censor its political rivals. Why do you think it would stop with them colluding with Facebook and Twitter to censor what you say? If they're going to collude with Facebook and Twitter to censor what you say, to violate your most basic First Amendment right that we have in this country, what's to say they couldn't say, oh, well, this guy, Caleb over here, he's got, we've got his Facebook account that's linked to him, and then we've got this refrigerator account on his smart fridge that's linked to him. He made some posts on Facebook that we really didn't like. So I think while he's out for the day, we're just going to turn his fridge off and spoil all the food inside of it. What's to stop him from doing that? What's to stop them when we talk about these smart homes, these climate change freaks? What's to stop them from going, your AC is actually terrible for the environment. We're just going to turn your house up to 75. And since you've got a smartphone that we're hooked up to, you have no say in it. You don't get to lower the temperature in your house at all. What are you going to say?
So I looked up smart beds to see kind of what they have. There's an air control unit in them, so you can cool it down.
Just fucking sleep. Why does everything have to be this high tech? Go to sleep. What is wrong with you people?
USB chargers.
Well, okay, again, I have this thing next to my bed called an outlet, and I plug my phone charger into it.
The adjustable bed, the adjustable sides, an underbed light, and
again, look what I've got this thing right here on my phone. When I need to look under my bed, I just pull it out and I use this thing called a flashlight. I mean, how lazy are we? We're incorporating flashlights into our beds.
And most importantly, massage features.
Oh, of course, because why go to bed without getting a massage? No, you don't get a massage from your smart bed. That is an intimate experience, that before bedtime massage that is for couples. When you pester your wife and say, will you massage my back? And she clearly doesn't want to do it. And she rubs it for a couple of minutes and it's not very hard. And it's okay, this is not doing it for me. And she just turns around. And then she does that thing when she turns around to go to sleep where she flips her hair back to you so you can play with her hair. Because she wasn't going to massage you, but she rolls over and, you know, guys, what I'm talking about. If your wife's got longer hair, they roll over on their side and they just flip the hair back to you. That's the most unsubtle form of communication between men and women, is when they do that hair flip when they roll over. We all know what it means. Why do we need a smart bed? You don't need a smart bed. You don't need a smart refrigerator. You don't need a smart microwave. You don't need a smart home or a smart oven or a smart garage door. You don't need any of that shit. I think what a lot of people need to start focusing on is de-integrating. Removing yourself, unplugging from technology. We are way, way, way too dependent on technology. Do you guys remember Y2K? Back in 1999, when they were talking about the computers are going to go down and people are going to forget how to live and we're going to start cannibalizing each other in the streets, that was 26 years ago. We are far more dependent on technology and computers in general right now than we were back then. Fuck Y2K, dude. You guys lose your fucking minds when Facebook goes down for an hour. I mean, could you imagine if a Y2K thing happened now? People wouldn't cannibalize each other in the streets because they wouldn't know how to get out of their homes. They'd just starve to death in the house. They'd have no idea how to leave because their smart doorbell probably would lock the house down or something because it's shut down. You're too dependent on this stuff. Look, I'm a cell phone addict just like everybody else is, but I stop there. I don't need to be integrated into everything. Mia doesn't even have a touch screen in her car. It's the last one in the city. No, you and the guy that blew through a red light and almost hit me today are the last ones in the city. They don't have them. That's, okay, next up. We've got congressional scandals all over the place. It's just so scandalous in Congress. First and foremost, though, we got to give it up. Our boy, after all of our rallying and petitioning and the screaming and shouting we did into the void on this show, George Santos is free. Donald Trump commuted his 7-year sentence. He's not innocent, but he's out of jail. He said the time he served is more than enough. They had him in solitary confinement for 41 days. He went straight to solitary. I mean, I don't care who you are. You can be the most bad motherfucker on the planet. That's going to mess with you. And they had him in there. So I'm glad George got out. I mean, look, people have done far worse and gotten far less time than him. That was a crooked administration trying to make an example out of a political rival that was honestly not very popular. I mean, Republicans, Democrats, everybody pretty much but us was anti-George. I don't have an opinion on the stuff he allegedly did or didn't do. I just thought it was funny. But George was out. So he went. Where do you think he went to go celebrate his newfound freedom?
Sephora.
No, to eat.
Oh, to eat.
He doesn't have the Sephora money anymore. He can't do that.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, go ahead and show him.
Hey everybody, George Santos here. I'm just sitting here with some friends at a good old American establishment. IHOP, shout out to IHOP. Good coffee. I mean, anything is good after prison. But anyway, Jesus is good, God is king, but I do want to say this. I heard that Zionists are getting paid $7,000 for a post. Where is my fucking check? I didn't get it.
He really is the gayest guy on the planet. Isn't he? He is the gayest man on earth. He really is. IHOP. Hey, you know what, though? Are you an IHOP fan?
Nah, not really.
Here's the thing. 99% of the time, I'm not an IHOP fan either. However, at 1 o'clock in the morning, after you've been out drinking or whatever, nothing hits like IHOP and that 24/7 Mexican spot. Those are the two places to hit. IHOP is the place to be if you've been out all night and you're looking for something to eat so you're not going to be hungover tomorrow. I mean, we used to, even when you're not drinking heavy, we would come back from they used to do these music festivals out at West Fair Amphitheater. Big like rock fest and stuff like that. And it was just like a tradition. We would come back and we would go stop at this IHOP. And it's just a shitty little IHOP. And you could everyone that was coming back like was clearly at the show just based on the way they looked. And that was just the spot. And I'll tell you what, you've been out in the sun all day. You've been drinking beer. You've had some garbage food, just burn out. You go and you sit down and you get those pancakes at 1 o'clock in the morning with that coffee and orange juice and it's bacon on the side. Oh my, I'm getting horny talking about it. I got to stop. Oh my God. Okay, so there have been some scandals. We've got a guy who's running for Senate in Maine named Graham Plattner. And Plattner is basically Maine's, he's a Democrat, but he's Maine's version of Dark Money Dan Osborne. He's got the blue collar background. He was a Marine. He's got the tattoos that he's showing off at every ad. But as it turns out, the tattoos were actually a little bit of a problem for him. So here is the tattoo he got. Go ahead and pull that up. It's on the right. Tattoo he's got on his chest. And on the left is the SS skull and crossbones emblem used by the Nazi death head units. That's the same skull. So he got that tattoo on him years and years ago. That's been exposed. And here's the video that Plattner made in response to explain the tattoo away. Go ahead.
Hey everyone, Graham Plattner here. I want to talk to you about something. In 2007, when I was a young infantry sergeant in the Marine Corps, myself and some machine gunners,
Why does his voice, again, it sounds like the guy you'd get in a CW series to play this like masculine lumberjack type guy?
Why does he have like paint stains on his
To
pants?
show you how
too?
blue collar he is. To show you how blue, you got to know how blue collar that Graham, just like Dan with the tattoos. Look, he's got his sleeves rolled up so you can see the tattoos. That's these guys' thing. They always got to show the tattoos so you know, working class trash, that they're just like you, okay?
These are like probably $100 pair of jeans that they just put little paint stains.
They put little like paints, or it could be caulk or something like that. But yeah, I know that's what it looks like. Yes, that's a good catch. I didn't even see that. You got to know it's not that he just, because here's how you know this guy's not working class, right? Because if a working class person, it's the same thing with Fetterman when he shows up in like a hoodie to expensive dinners and stuff. Working class people don't look like that. Not at major events. If a working class person is going to make a media appearance that they know is going to be seen by thousands, if not millions of people, they're going to put on a pair of pants that isn't dirty. I know because I've grown up around them my entire life. If a working class person gets invited to a gala They're not showing up in a hoodie and shorts. They're showing up in a suit. It may be the only suit they own. They may have gotten it from Goodwill, but they're going to show up in it. They're not going to, these people that dress like this with, yeah, like you said, the dirty $100 jeans and that show up to balls and major dinners in a hoodie and shorts, they're mocking you. It's not even that they're mocking you. They think so little of you that they think that's how you dress. That's how you behave yourself. Anyway, continue with the video.
Served in Fallujah and Ramadi with, we're on our third deployment. We were in a naval vessel and we pulled in for a Liberty port in Split, Croatia. We went ashore to do the thing that young Marines do, which tends to be carousing and sometimes getting tattoos. We wanted to get something that represented our jobs, our service, fighting in Fallujah and Ramadi as machine gunners. We went ashore, we found a tattoo parlor after a fair amount of heavy carousing, and we found a tattoo on the wall, a piece of flash that looked like a terrifying skull and crossbones. We thought it looked cool, and so we got it. I have had this tattoo for the last 18 years. I re-enlisted into the United States Army with this tattoo, where I was screened for hate and gang-related tattoos. I worked for the State Department as a contractor, where I got a full physical, which included screening my tattoos. I've gone through life with this thing, taking my shirt off, having photographs taken, videos taken. I've been very, very open in my life with the fact I had a skull and crossbones on my chest, because that's what I thought it was. It's come to my attention that it has a stark resemblance to a symbol that is used by neo-Nazis. And I want to say that was...
I don't know about you. No, you can turn it off. That's fine. You're going to play the whole thing. I don't know about you, but I hate when I accidentally get Nazi tattoos. I've only had that happen a couple times. Me and my friends, we go out drinking, and we just, of all the tattoos on the wall, we accidentally pick Nazi ones. I just hate when that happens. You know what I want to see? I want to see one of the guys in the unit come forward. One of the guys that was in the unit with him come forward and show us that you had the same tattoo. That's all I want. Then I'll drop this. If you look at his Reddit account that's since been made public, his older Reddit account, you can pull that up. Yeah. Oh, no, down to the next one. Sorry. Yeah. Here he is in a conversation from how many years ago does that say? 6 years ago, that's discussing that very skull and how it was a Nazi skull. So he's known about it for at least 6 years. You can take it down. He's known about this for at least 6 years. Here's my thing. If I would have gotten a tattoo that I genuinely didn't know, because I was willing to hear him out. I'm like, I believe it. People put stupid shit, especially you're young, you're drinking, you're around your buddies, whatever. You don't know. You don't research it. I've been that guy, right? But if I would have gotten something that I knew was a Nazi symbol, and I found it out through an online post, or maybe I didn't know it at the time, but I found it out through an online post, you bet your ass I'm getting it covered. When I found it out, he let it sit there for 6 years. 6 years. Speaking of which, his Reddit has been made public, and we've got some of his posts on here. If you're in Maine and you're thinking Graham might be a good vote for you, go ahead. So he's posted things like, I'm a vegetable-growing, psychedelic-taking socialist. I still have the guns. I don't trust the fascists to act politely. He's got another post where he says, I'm 37. I got older and became a communist. So there you go, Maine. The choice is hard. You can pick Susan Collins, who's a Republican that I'm not really a fan of, or you can pick a communist with Nazi tattoos. Very confused individual, it sounds like. He also claims he got it. He also showed it later on in the video that he got it covered. He got the tattoo covered, the Nazi ink. That's good, with pictures of a dog or some. Wouldn't it be funny if he found out that the new tattoo was also Nazi stuff? Like he got it. He's like, God damn it. But yeah, I hate when that happens, you know. And here's the thing, though. The polls came out. Janet Mills, who's the Democrat governor, after this tattoo and Reddit debacle broke down, he's beating her by even more in the primary polls. Now, make no mistake, these got released right after or right before she announced her candidacy on purpose. Somebody had this and they were sitting on it. But he's climbed in the polls even higher. So the Democrats are sending a clear-cut message. We saw it with Jay Jones in Virginia, the attorney general candidate who's threatening people. You're talking about he wants people's kids to get killed. And now we've seen it with this guy. They're just going to double down when people in their own party get exposed as lunatics, and we're just going to have to deal with it. And it's dangerous because that means more lunatics are going to be put into government. but it is what it is. We've got one more in the congressional scandal here. This is, I saved the best for last. This is the most insane thing we've talked about. I mean, the Mark Sanchez story we had was wild. This one's nuts too. Mia, do you remember a year ago we talked about a guy named Tony Gonzalez? He's a congressman in Texas. He's a Republican. We're not a fan of him because he sold us out on gun control. He's kind of a foreign interventionalist rhino. He had an opponent named Brandon Herrera. He was a YouTuber that was running against him, gave him a run for his money, lost by like 0.5 percentage point, and really took it to Tony. Well, Brandon's running again for this office. He's going to primary Tony again. And Tony Gonzalez, we get this news comes out, and his campaign has not denied this. His PR people have not denied this, so you do what you will. But he I have to use the word allegedly, had an affair with a senior aide of his. So it was a woman who was working for his office and for his campaign, and he allegedly had an affair with her. Now, Gonzalez's spokesman did not deny the affair to the Daily Mail. So that's, okay, you hear that, it's like, so what? A politician fucked his aide, that happens every day. That's not the crazy part. After he broke this affair off, after he cut it off with this woman, said, this isn't going to work, I'm married, I got to do this, and you're going to hurt my campaign, it looks bad with a boss fucking his employee, this woman proceeded to douse herself with gasoline and light herself on fire, committing suicide. Yeah.
Politically.
No, not politically. Literally lit herself on fire, committed suicide. Now, obviously, the biggest surprise out of the story is that Tony isn't gay. But the second biggest surprise here is that she went with gasoline. I mean, that's the ultimate crazy ex-girlfriend move right there, right? Not going to shoot myself, not going to take a bunch of pills, slip my wrist. Gasoline. It almost feels like it wasn't a suicide. Because they can, with guns and stuff like that, they can tell how it was being held with ballistics and they didn't really shoot himself or whatever. Dousing somebody with gasoline, I don't know, Tony. I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but I think somebody should at least go check up on old Tony. What do you think? Do you think she's just nuts, or do you think that there's maybe a darker conspiracy at play here?
Honestly, it could go either way.
There are some crazy bitches out there.
Yeah, there's some crazy people.
It could, yeah. So I don't know, but that's now Tony has followed up. Again, he hasn't confirmed or denied this. And when somebody doesn't deny that the woman they were allegedly having an affair with set herself on fire and killed herself, that usually means that it happened. That's typically how that goes. That's something that can be easily disproven, and you deny it pretty quickly if you're accused of it, While Tony won't confirm or deny it, he has said that he's considering not running for re-election. So, vote Tony Gonzalez, ladies and gentlemen. It's only getting hotter in here. He's on fire. All right, we'll go to this next one here. We're going to skip Luigi Mangione. Oh, Luigi Mangione, before the click on it real quick, we'll do it. Luigi Mangione, before he shot the United Healthcare CEO, evidently, this is just insane. Daily Mail reports Luigi Mangione was attacked and clawed by 7 Thai ladyboys during his mysterious disappearance that occurred months before the United Healthcare CEO's murder. I don't really have anything to add on this other than what the fuck is this timeline? I mean, we've got congressional aides setting themselves on fire. We've got assassins getting attacked by gangs of Thai ladyboys. I don't believe in the simulation theory, but man, it sounds like one. Next up, Jen Psaki, the former, this bitter ginger bitch, the former communications director for the Biden White House before we had the black lesbian. She gave an interview, and she was asked about J.D. Vance and his wife, and this is what she had to say about it.
I think the little Manchurian candidate, J.D. Vance, wants to be president more than anything else.
Give it away.
I always wonder what's going on in the mind of his wife. Like, are
Agreed.
you okay? Please blink 4 times.
Yes.
We'll come over here. We'll save you. And that he's willing to do to get there. And that your whole iteration.
So that's a trend with them. And they did this with Melania Trump too. They didn't realize she was just Slavic and always looks pissed off. That's what these people do. And unfortunately, we have been, us right here, we have been the victim of those types of attacks on multiple occasions. Multiple occasions. When they can't hurt you, when they know they can't touch you, they go after your wife, because that's what bullies do. That's what pussies do. They go after your wife, and they want to make just baseless. They're not defaming you because they're not making objective claims, but they tiptoe right up to the line, and they like to imply that you're an abuser or whatever, you're controlling your wife or whatever the case may be. Because truly, I think there's part of them, they just, like I said, they're bullies and they can't hurt you, so that's the next best thing they can do is go after your marriage. But I think there is a part of them that maybe doesn't believe it but wants to believe it. Because especially when you see the same thing with Mia that you see with Usha Vance, JD's wife, when you see a woman of color that is educated and has done well for herself without the man being involved, it really hurts these people to think that that woman would just go out and just choose a guy that doesn't vote to the left of Stalin. That really gets at them. It doesn't make sense in their sheltered worldview and their echo chamber where only one way is the right way and they won't even hear another opinion. It doesn't make sense to them that that woman would choose to be with somebody that doesn't share the political spectrum with them. I mean, it truly is. It's a sick mental illness. And it really is just insulting to imply that, well, if a woman of color is with a conservative man, it must be because she's being held hostage or abused. We know these poor women, they need us liberal white women to speak up for them. Mia, how did you manage to get through the day today without a liberal white woman to speak for you? Were you okay today?
It was hard.
Was it tough?
It was really hard, yeah.
They couldn't come and save the day at all. I figured it was probably a pretty difficult day for you. So I wanted to check in. Your liberal white woman handler, Cole Sikta, wasn't there to follow you around. We had to name drop her. You know that basket case fucking listens to the show. Drop another review, you dumb bitch. Okay. All right. We'll go to the next one here. New York City, they've got their mayoral election going on with Zoran Mamdani, who can't bench press 135 pounds even once without a spotter helping him out. By the way, I did the Mamdani challenge. I got to 38 before my shoulder gave out. I'm resting it up. I'm going to give it one more try here and see if I can beat that number. 38's pretty solid, though. For 135 pounds, that's a lot of reps there. I'm trying to break 40. I told you all I bet I could do 30. I broke 30 easily. My goal is to hit 40. But Zoran Mamdani, we've got all the debates going on. They had back-to-back debates. Go ahead and play this clip of the first one here, and it really sums up why Andrew Cuomo's had so many problems besides, the whole nursing home genocide thing.
I know Mr. Cuomo is on the record as saying he favors them. We just heard Mr. Sliwa say that he's against them. Where do you stand on those?
I'm appreciative.
The sports one.
In a dream scenario, we know it's not possible, but the Mets are playing Game 7 of the World Series on the same night as the Knicks are playing Game 7 of the NBA Championship, and you can only go to one. Which one will it be, Mr. Sliwa?
Again, which baseball team?
This is the Mets, Game 7, Knicks, Game 7.
I'm not going to the Mets game. I'm a Yankee fan. True baseball fans either like one or the other. I'm going to the Knicks game. That's my team, the Knicks.
Mr. Cuomo?
I'm going to go half and half. I can make it back and forth.
All right. And Mr. Mamdani?
This is what New Yorkers are sick of. Just pick a team.
What's
Come on.
your answer?
I'd be there for the Knicks.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of ground covered. We'll leave it on that light note. Thank you, candidate.
Yeah, see, I don't like Mamdani, but he's 100% right there. It's that politician bullshit that people are sick of. That right there. It's such a benign, basic question. No one's going to base their vote off whether you'd rather go to the Knicks or the Mets, okay? When Sliwa's a nutcase for other reasons, but when he looked in the camera and said, I'm going to go to the Met or the Knicks game. I hate the Mets. Do you think there were some Mets fans out there that were like, that's it. I'm not voting Republican now. I'm voting for the communists. Burn the city to the ground. No, it's a harmless question meant to end on a high note. That's all it was. and he still found a way to drop it, and that's why he didn't win the primary, and it's why New York City looks like they're going to get a communist as mayor, a communist who goes on podcasts and says things like this, by the way.
Police do not create safety. For many, many people across this city and this state, police actually create and amplify violence. And it is very important to speak about that reality that many people have, because it pushes up against the conventional understanding of police, who are seen to be people who come to resolve violence. But, I mean, you just look at the history of the NYPD and you see that we have invested in a system that functions in many ways to punish poor Black and brown people across this city and across this state, and frankly, across this country. And there are so many responsibilities we have given to police that, frankly, should have to do with them. A homeless person is on a train. They do not need a stranger with a gun to come and resolve that situation. If somebody is jaywalking, if somebody is surviving, going through domestic violence, if there are so many different situations that would be far better handled by people trained to deal with those specific situations, as opposed to an individual with a gun.
So he doesn't want police officers to respond to domestic violence situations. That's great. That's great. I mean, first off, those are the most dangerous responses police officers respond to. That's the first thing you have to realize there, that you're more likely to get killed in a DV than an active shooter or a bank robbery if you're a police officer. That's just a fact, because they're very, very volatile. You don't know what's going on over there. And he wants to send in someone who's unarmed. Great. That's smart. That'll go really well. They don't shoot the cops because they show up with guns. They shoot the cops because they're nuts. So you want to send... I have no problem with sending a counselor in with the cop, but you can't send somebody in there unarmed that can't defend themselves and the other person. That's a recipe for disaster. And you want me to be honest, when I hear this guy talk about how he doesn't want to use the police to enforce anti-domestic violence laws, I can only go back to one thing, and that's his Islamic heritage. His Islamic heritage. We know how the Muslims treat the women. I can't help but feel like this is some type of angle to shoehorn that into policy, to protect Muslim men who beat their wives at a higher rate than any other religion. That's just a fact, and those are the ones that get reported. That's what I think. Well, Cuomo came... Speaking of which, I got to pull this poll up first. So it's not on there. You're good. This poll comes from Patriot Polling. It's just another political polling website. They polled people, American-born New Yorkers and foreign-born New Yorkers. Among American-born New Yorkers, Cuomo's up 40-31 over Mamdani. Among foreign-born New Yorkers, Mamdani's up 62-24%. That's the problem right there. Black and white numbers in front of you. The fact, first off, I don't think you should be able to hold any office if you weren't born in this country. It is insane that you can leave a country because you don't like it, come here, and then vote to pass laws on the people that were born here and have lived there their entire lives that make this country more like the one you came from. I don't think it's worth the risk. Even if you love this country, I'm sorry, we'll find someone else. That's the problem right there, is people move from other countries and then they vote for someone from another country to make this country more like the one they left. I don't have a problem with foreigners voting. I do have a problem with them holding office. This is a hostile foreign takeover of New York City. This guy's a national security threat. There's no other way to paint this. Now, here's some clips from the second debate where Cuomo actually came back and did his job. This first one's Mamdani here. Check this out.
I know Mr. Cuomo is on the record as saying he favors them. We just heard Mr. Sliwa say that he's against them. Where do you stand on those?
I'm appreciative that those measures will be on the ballot and that New Yorkers will be able to cast their votes for them. I know that we desperately need to build more housing in this city, and I also know that the jobs we create in the building of that housing should be good jobs as well.
What a political answer. What is your opinion, Zoran?
Yes or no?
Come on.
Yes or no?
What is your opinion? Yes or no, Zoran? Don't be a politician here.
WWE.
They're pointing out what I was about to, which is that you answer the question.
No, I think on the stage you can see two people appealing for the Republican Party's votes.
Answer the question. Answer the question for once.
My question to you was, do you support the 3 ballot amendment questions?
I have not yet taken a position on those ballot amendment questions.
What a shocker.
All right.
What a shocker.
We're going to move on.
Don't worry, once he takes it, he'll change it anyway.
We're going to move it on. We're going to move on.
Yeah, so that's what you're getting there. You're getting a guy who's not going to take positions publicly because he knows he's got the race in the bag. He's campaigning very, very safely. He's fighting like Floyd Mayweather used to bounce around the ring and fight, not to win, but to not lose. That's what you're seeing right there. He's not going to tell you how he feels about these things because he knows if he does, you're not going to vote for him. So that's what you're seeing with him there.
Were you paying attention to the sign language?
No,
people?
was she going nuts?
Yeah, she just looked so confused, and then
You got
she just
4 people screaming. Yeah,
she just left, and then another one came on.
They made the sign language lady quit. Great job. That's the most New York thing I've ever heard. But that's what you're seeing there. And Cuomo had a great. So Mamdani had a horrific debate. He wouldn't answer any questions. Everything was politician bullshit speak because the guy doesn't actually have any substance. Tim Dillon said this about Newsom. You could say the same thing about Mamdani, in my opinion. He doesn't stand for nothing. He stands for less than nothing. That's a problem. And that's what Mamdani is, because communism is less than nothing. It would be less detrimental to a city, to New York City, to drop a nuclear bomb on it than it would be to enact Zoran Mamdani's economic policies. Now, what you have to keep in mind about this guy is he's not going to be able to enact everything he says he's going to. He's going to figure that out very quickly. He's not going to be able to put the taxes on corporations and different business owners and stuff like that and landlords the way he says he's going to. Had he actually done his job in government and studied civics, he would know that that's handled at the statewide level. The mayor can't do that. So what's going to happen is Mamdani's going to take office, and people are going to go, hey, where's all this free shit you promised us? You promised free grocery or state-run grocery stores. You promised free buses, blah, 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 blah. Where's it at? We're not getting it. And they're not getting it because they're not raising the money, because he can't tax these businesses and these rich people the way he was claiming to. So what's going to happen is he's going to have to come up with he's either going to have to break his campaign promises or come up with the money in another way. How does the money get come up with? It's quite simple. We all know. We're seeing it right here in Omaha with the streetcar. He's going to raise taxes on everyday New Yorkers. He's going to raise property taxes, which are going to in turn raise the rent on people. That's what always happens. But here's Cuomo clapping back at Mamdani. And had he shown this fire from the get-go, we might be having a different conversation here.
I understand my friend doesn't really understand government. The governor doesn't build housing in New York City.
Not if it's you.
No, legally, there are jurisdictions. The governor doesn't pick up trash. He doesn't run the fire department. That's what the mayor does. The mayor builds housing. The state allocates funding for localities. And I allocated more funding for housing than any governor in the history of the state of New York. All right? I did things. You have never had a job. You've never accomplished anything. There's no reason to believe you have any merit or qualification for 8.5 million lives. You don't know how to run a government. You don't know how to handle an emergency. And you've literally never proposed a bill on anything that you're now talking about in your campaign. You had the worst attendance record in the assembly. And you gave yourselves the highest raise in the United States of America. You went from $110,000 to $140,000, and then you never showed up for work, and you missed 80% of the votes. Shame on you. Shame on you.
And he can't bench 135 pounds, more important than anything else. Okay, we're going to go to our last story here. Skip the rest of them. Just go to the Ohio mom. Yeah, we know Trump didn't... Trump's not going to commute Diddy's sentence. TMZ lied once again. Oh, big fucking whoop. We all knew that was coming. They've said that like 4 times, and every time they've dismissed the rumor. Let's go to this last one, though. We've got a woman in Ohio was a pit bull owner, a pit hag. And, you always, I guarantee you, whenever I see these stories, I shouldn't say I laugh, because I don't laugh, because they're tragic. But whenever I see these stories, and I see the people that get arrested or charged or whatever, whose pit bull kills their kid or kills somebody else's kid or kills them, I always can take one look at them, and I just know that these are the people who are in the comments section every time a pit bull mauls somebody else and it gets shared to the local news, posting pictures of their shit bull in pajamas, or what do they always put the pit bulls in? They got them in pajamas or like little bows on their head.
Yeah, pajamas or like little bows or like costumes
Yeah.
or like cute little collars or
Yeah.
bow ties.
Yeah, they do that. Mine wouldn't hurt a fly. Like, who the fuck asked you? I mean, I shouldn't say, do you have no manners? Because we know these people have no manners. Pit bull owners are 90% uncivilized beasts that walk around on all fours. So we know that goes without saying. But these are always the same ones. It's like, who asked you? Why do you think that's appropriate? A child was mauled to death by a pit bull, and you're going to jump on here and comment that yours would never do that. Okay, great. Like, okay, next time I see something about someone getting killed in a DUI, I'm going to post a picture of my car in a bow tie and say, mine would never do this. Or there's a mass shooting. I'm going to take a picture with my AR-15 in like a pair of pajamas. Mine wouldn't hurt a fly. That's how stupid you sound when you guys do this shit and they eat it up. So these are always the people, these people, you can rest assured, they're the ones with all the Facebook posts and they're just misunderstood. It's just the bad owners. And then they find out that it's not the bad owners, but it's too late. So Ohio mom has learned her fate. This is local 12 in Ohio. Columbus. Ohio mom has learned her fate after her own child was mauled to death by a pit bull. Alyssa Smith has been sentenced to 3 years in prison for third-degree felony child endangering after her 6-month-old son, Royal, that's how you know the woman's white trash, she named her son Royal, was fatally mauled to death by a pit bull in April of 2024. Marion County prosecutor Ray Grogan announced the sentence, which was handed down by Common Pleas Court Judge Todd Anderson. Prosecutors presented evidence detailing the infant's death and her recklessness, highlighting that she left the baby unsupervised with the young child and the aggressive dog nearby. Here, we need this every time this happens. Every time this happens, this needs to be the case. Parents have to start going to jail. We need to send it. We can't pass a law that goes door to door and euthanizes every pit bull in America as much as I would like to. It's not. I looked it up. It's not doable. We need to start making it so inconvenient to own these things that people just give up and don't buy them. Like, it's not enough to have mandatory insurance policies. It needs to be in the laws. If your pit bull kills someone that is not robbing or attacking you, you get an accessory charge or whatever. We'll give you manslaughter, whatever. I don't know. That's up to the courts to figure out. We're going to charge you, and there's going to be a consequence for it. We have to find a way to legislate these things out of existence. They were bred to kill. They're bred to kill, ladies and gentlemen. It's not the bad owners. You hear stories. I guarantee you, because it's just the owners. It's just the owners. No, dude, I've known plenty of people who were horrible owners with their dogs. Horrible owners with their dogs. Do you know what the dogs do? They jump on you when you come in the house. They bark at people when they walk by. Sometimes they take a shit in the house. They jump up on the table and eat your food. That's what a dog with a bad owner looks like. A pit bull kills people, whether the owner is good or bad, because that's what it was bred to do. They make up 6% of dogs in the country and 70% of fatal dog attacks, even more of dog attacks that require hospitalization or medical attention. It's just a fact. You cannot argue with the numbers. There is a reason that when you throw a ball to a Labrador Retriever puppy, it goes, gets it, and brings it back to you, because it was bred for hundreds of years to retrieve things. There's a reason that when my friends bring their kids over to our house, my Aussie herds them, even though he's never lived on a farm. It's because he is a herding dog. His breed has been selectively bred through genetics for hundreds of years to herd. But when pit bulls freak out, even though they've been bred for hundreds of years to fight and kill, it's just the owners. It's not the bad owners. It's not. I guarantee you, this woman was, we know she wasn't a good owner because she wasn't a good parent, but she probably wasn't beating the dog. We have no reason to believe that. The pit bulls that, I can't say it, but the pit bulls that attacked someone I know a couple weeks ago, I don't think they were being raised by someone that was beating them or training them to fight. That's just what they do. They're an absolute menace, they're violent, and they're aggressive. And you know what? If you've got an attentive owner that can take the precautions and put up the fence, and I mean, I guess it's your funeral, dude, if you want to trust the thing in your house by you. But it's not bad owners. It's just, how do I put it? It's not bad owners. It's a bad breed that happens to attract bad owners. You happen to see scumbags that, let's just say, live a not so insatiable lifestyle, that are attracted to these dogs because they're a power play to them. It makes them feel strong. It makes them feel badass. That's all it is. And I love when I comment on pit bulls. We always get people, oh, imagine being scared of a dog. Bro, let me spell this out for you. If your pit bull attacks me, if it jumps the fence, whatever, runs at me and attacks me, the only thing I am scared of is how much ammo I'm going to waste when I dump my entire mag into it. That's the only thing that scares me is, oh my God, there goes $5, which is ironically worth more than the Frankenstein's monster you call a pet. We had a guy in Omaha back in August. His dog got off the leash. Of course, it wasn't registered. Of course, he didn't have insurance for it. Of course, it didn't have rabies shots. Excuse me. He was walking it without a leash. The Douglas County Sheriff's just posted something about this. Attacks someone and their pet while they're out on a walk. This guy evades the Humane Society for months until they issue a warrant for his arrest with the Douglas County Sheriff, because these people, these pit bull owners, are allergic to responsibility. They are the scum of the earth. The breed is not bad. The dogs are not bad because they're raised by the scum of the earth. They are bad dogs that happen to attract the scum of the earth. They will be bad with or without the scum of the earth. Now, of course, not all pit bulls are owned by the scum of the earth. Like I said, you see nice little suburban families get mauled to death at least once a month by the pit bull that they thought they could trust. It's not the owners. It's the breed. It's the breed. The breed needs to be eradicated. Period. End of story. I don't care how we do it. It's got to go. It's got to go. Oh, no. We're not talking about the NBA story. No, not touching that one. Sorry. You can go watch another podcast. They'll talk about the NBA gambling scandal. We're not going to, though. We got one more. Mia gave us our positive news. She's doing a new segment to the show. What's going on here? Is it a pit bull getting euthanized? That would be positive.
No. Oh. It is dog related, though.
Oh, it's a pit bull getting hit by a car. Okay, I'll stop.
So it's a good dog.
Okay.
So it's about a golden retriever. He lost his ball. So it's 2 videos.
Okay.
So I'll show the first video.
A few weeks ago, Bruce dropped a ball off of the balcony into this bush, and I wasn't able to find it. He wasn't able to find it. And now, literally every day, once a day,
Apollo would have found it immediately.
This is the routine we go through.
Why doesn't he just go in the bushes?
I know he can smell it. But I can't see it, and neither can you.
Tongue hanging outside of his mouth. The Michael Jordan thing. I love it.
I really don't see it. If anyone else does.
It's the DOP, disappearing object phenomenon.
Has not forgotten. I've decided to just take a seat while he continues, because every time we go inside, he starts crying to come back out and keep looking.
Apollo would have found it by now. Or he'd be growling at it. It's impressive it can stand on its hind legs like that.
I love that technique. Where is it, buddy? I cannot believe what we are going through right now for a tennis ball. Alright, if anyone has any tips, please let us know.
Alright, so that's video number 1.
So video number 1, this went on for 5 videos. People would post in the comments like different spots where they think they found it. So she would try and look. So the bushes were like, they're very thorny.
Mm-hmm.
So she would have to go in with like an oven mitt and like a broom and stuff and like
Yeah.
dig around. And then at one point she just got a decoy ball and like put it in and then like pointed at it and he got it and he was like really excited. And then he started like rubbing his scent all over it. And then he realized that it wasn't the ball.
It was the wrong ball.
It was the wrong ball.
Oh,
So
no.
he didn't want anything to do with it.
Oh, no.
And then finally we get this video.
Okay.
It's really pokey, so be careful. I think it's back in this area. It's like maybe 6 inches down from the top. Okay.
See, a pit bull would have mauled the landscape.
Where's the ball, Bruce? Do you see it? Oh my gosh!
Oh, they got the ball.
Can you believe it? He got the ball for you. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Bruce, what do you think? Say thank you.
You got your ball, Bruce.
Oh my god. Thank you so much.
You're happy now, huh?
Yes. Thank you. Bruce,
Is
that the best thing that's ever happened to both of us? Yay. Yay, buddy. Oh my goodness.
That ball's disgusting.
That's a happy dog.
Face.
Thank you to everyone that DM'd and emailed and commented trying to find this ball. We're reunited. And now Bruce is going to destroy it.
Now, here's what's going to happen, because I've owned enough dogs to know how this ends. They're going to take that ball inside, and he's never going to pay attention to it again. It's done. They obsessed over something, and then they're done. They'll never see. That's why with Megan, our old lab, I quit buying her toys. I'm like, you play with this thing for 5 minutes when I get it to you, and then you never touch it again. You don't want. She have like 2 that she would play with, and that's it. She don't want to play with the rest of them. And I'm like, okay, fine. That's it. Or they're going to intentionally destroy it. You know. That's speaking of Megan. She wouldn't have cared about it for that long.
No.
The ball would have been lost, and she would have been like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
See you later.
Yeah, he was very determined to get this ball.
Good.
So
we need that kind of fortitude in this country.
He even said thank you to the landscaper. He went up and gave him hugs.
Oh, good. Anyway, that's been our show. We ended on positive news. Positive news. Better than the, dead 6-month-old that would have otherwise ended the show. That has been our show. We will see you on Wednesday for the final rendition of October's WTF Wednesday Spectacular Marathon. WTF Wednesday every week. 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, wherever you get your shows that we're not banned. All right, cheat on your taxes, not your spouse, and stay fucking based, ladies and gentlemen.